Okay.
So I'm trying to find this app on my phone. Les, have you downloaded the greenskeeper.org app?
I haven't. I
No,
didn't realize there was one.
I haven't either. Jason left. He's so mad he can't even find the app. I'm real excited about today's guest for a couple of reasons. One, because, well, he's pretty much a legend in his own right. But two,
In his own mind.
well, in his own mind, in his own right. Two, he is the guy, the voice, the face, the mind, the vision behind Greenskeeper.org. And Greenskeeper.org, Les, do you know the relationship with Greenskeeper.org and the Friday Foursome?
Yes, I do.
That's cool.
In fact, I wear the hat every week.
Wait a minute. Our guest also has the hat on. Weird. That's because we have John Hakim with us from Greenskeeper.org, and not only is this going to be a fun hangout with a bunch of questions, we've got about 84 questions from Greenskeeper.org members. Enough of that. Let's get right into it. John, take a couple of minutes, introduce yourself, tell us who you are, and tell us when this app is going to be ready. Let's go back.
Okay. I'm John Hakim. Most people know me as Johnny GK. I am the founder of Greenskeeper.org. I founded it back in 2002 before you had to give people a reason to go online. So it's been a fun journey, and I just still feel like I'm still getting it going in some ways. It's an amazing community, and it's just I'm really proud of it, and that's pretty much the basics of me.
Awesome. Well, I'm not going to call you Johnny GK because I sometimes do, but I feel that we've not quite hit that level. I like to keep it a little bit more professional between the two of us. Jason Boslow is with us from Shop Junior Golf. He's trying to figure out how to find his lower third. We got Les Bailey with us from Back Nine Media. Are you happy that I got that right?
Yeah, hey, I'm impressed, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm impressed too because I actually thought about reading it before I said it, but I didn't, and I still got it right. We got a ton of questions, so Les, I'm going to let you kick things off. You got a bunch of good ones.
All right, man. I have a question about, because of course I live in Virginia, and Virginia's not on Greenskeeper.org. What goes into what goes into opening up new areas on Greenskeeper.org?
That's like the question I get every solitary month. Somebody's emailing me. Yeah, I mean, they're emailing me, bring it to Michigan, bring it to the Carolinas, bring it here, bring it there. And that's been going on for years. And the reason it just doesn't spread itself out like that is because there's a lot of active content management. We don't just add golf courses to the database and not monitor them for maintenance alerts. We also need to feel like there's going to be a community that we can establish there. It's not a concept about spreading itself thin and focusing on reach. It's focused on depth. And so, I mean, that's basics. And plus, I don't have the human resources yet to really spread myself out that far. I mean, it's a lot of content management, and I've made some mistakes in the past spreading Greenskeeper out a little too much, and so now I'm just a lot more conservative in adding markets. That's a great market, Virginia. Basically, we just added Florida. I'm going to go into the Carolinas, and I'm going to work my way up the East Coast. I think I might skip over to Michigan a little bit sooner, as there's a lot of golf out there. But that's really that's a good question, Les. Thanks.
Yeah.
Very cool, Jason. I haven't heard you say a word. You just waved. I hope your mic's working. I'm going to let you get the ball rolling here.
I hope so too. I'm assuming everybody can hear me okay.
Yeah, you're good.
What are some of the things that you look for in the review of a golf course?
Ooh, that's a great question. I mean, with Greenskeeper, it's a letting people express themselves, but to the point where they're bringing value. Like a Greenskeeper member who asked me, what do you want in a review? And I say, whatever you think is helpful to help for people to decide where they want to play golf, because that's the premise of Greenskeeper. I mean, for the most part, from a resource standpoint, I mean, the registered trademark is know before you go. That's the creed of Greenskeeper.org. So what I like, for me personally, because everybody's different tastes. I mean, for me, I like to see an emphasis on playing conditions because that's what's most important to me. That's what's always in flux, I mean, it's funny. I mean, I got 2 weeks from now, a golf course that was in great shape could be in bad shape, and vice versa. So I'm always looking mostly for an update on the current conditions. Most particularly, I like to hear about the greens in the fairways. So.
Okay.
So I use review sites a lot, like Yelp and TripAdvisor, and Golf Advisor has been coming up. So how do you compare to those? And as a user that's getting ready to go play a golf course, I'm going to go play John Doe Golf Club. Why am I going to go to Greenskeeper.org versus going to Yelp or Golf Advisor to get my reviews?
Oh, Golf Advisor isn't going to like this answer. I mean, Golf Advisor is an extension of Golf Now. The reviews are procured through that engine. And if you go to Golf Advisor and you look at it, it's not a community at all. It's a one-way street. It's a lot of faceless profiles. Nobody ever likes or comments on a Golf Advisor. You even have to question if it's even being consumed by golfers. All the ratings and stuff on Golf Advisor are almost like 4 or 5 star. And then when you look at Golf Advisor, you know what? I'm gonna cut Golf Advisor a little bit of slack here. I think I've said enough. But again, it's not a community. The authenticity isn't there. There's censorship involved. When Golf Advisor first launched, my community staff went in there and played around with it, and it was pretty crazy. I mean, you are not allowed to utter Greenskeeper.org on Golf Advisor, even if it's not even a new URL. I mean, there's filters on there, and it's really not an authentic platform. Greenskeeper just outdoes it in every way, shape, and form. Yes, there's more reviews and things on a platform like Golf Advisor, but that's a classic example of a platform focused on reach and not depth. And Greenskeeper is completely different. Greenskeeper is a people platform, and it's a community that feels the resource.
So next week we're going to have a special guest on from Greenskeeper.org and Golf Advisor for Battle Royale. I'm kidding, but that's not a terrible idea, actually, to maybe one day get like a special edition to where 30 minutes and I introduce you and you guys go. So one of the cool things about the Friday Foursome being sponsored by Greenskeeper.org is each week you do a very good job of sending us questions from members of your community on Greenskeeper.org. And let's just say they want to know a lot about you. And this week, we've got a ton of questions from your members. So Audacity's got a good one, and he wants to know, and I'm actually curious after reading this, what role does your wife play in the success of Greenskeeper.org? Has she been your silent partner over the years? I wonder, is she an angel?
That sounds like a pointed question to me.
Curious PKers want to know. I also want to know.
She's just a beautiful person in my life. I mean, she supports me in every way. No, she's not involved in the hands-on operations. But she's just, for her to endure over the last 12 years this entrepreneurial dream. And entrepreneurs know out there the struggles of life-work balance and support. And, we're all super optimistic. And what happens is it wears on your family. But my wife has just always been right there for me, supportive, believing in me. And I can't even tell you how important that is. Same thing with the rest of my family. I have 2 daughters, my dad and mom. Also in Arizona, my brother. Everybody believes in me, and I tell you, it's critical. But I'm very blessed to have that.
Very cool. Well, I have actually never seen or met your wife, so I didn't even know you had a wife. So it might just be all you just going strong, and that could be it. So I had the chance to play with you at Auction Southern. I had the chance to play golf with you at Auction Southern Dunes a while back, and on the first hole, I noticed you had a putter, if you can call it that, and I thought about it, and then you made about every putt you looked at all day. So, Rat Patrol, one of your members said, "Why a hot dog? Why not a banana?" So tell the story before you answer that question about the hot dog putter.
You mean this one right here?
Oh, I hope you got it with you. Oh, you do.
The dog.
And it's not. And you also don't have like a traditional putting stroke, and you make freaking everything. So whatever it is, I get it. I mean, it's a flat piece of metal. You figured it out, but
it's the strangest thing. Okay, well, first the story about the dog. I used to go to the University of Colorado, Boulder, and I graduated in 1990, and I played some golf out there, but it was just joke around golf. And so I was at a golf shop out there getting some golf balls, and I saw these 2 putters. It actually was a banana and a hot dog. And and I was like, I'm going to buy one of these and show up the weekend and just putt and just see what they have to say. So, I was like, oh, the banana's really cool, but this fork. I mean, this fork just was the kicker. I was like, I had to get this thing.
It wasn't the hot dog. It was the fork that made
the fork in the dog, which is illegal. It's by the USGA. This is an illegal putter. I have an advantage over other people.
An illegal putter too. It's all
connected to 2 points.
Jason cheats too.
Yeah. So look out. But anyway, so I got the putter. I was goofing out. They were laughing, of course, and I putted pretty good. I was like, this is crazy. How can I putt good with this thing? And then I went out again, and I putted even better. And I was like, you know what? This thing stays in the bag. I'm going to use this thing. And that's how the hot dog came to be. And no way, no banana. It's all about the dog, baby.
That's awesome. Jason, I want to see you go get a banana putter that's a long putter, so you cheat like tenfold. Like you're just cheating all over the place.
Was that like cheating twice?
Yeah. So does it negate itself? So if you cheat twice, it's like it's a made putt and it's legal. Les, back to you.
All right. Well, I'm going to go back to the same questions I had before. When you're looking to move into a new community, what kind of a community or online community are you looking for to move into?
That's a great question, because that's how my mind thinks. It thinks community first, people first. Greenskeeper, having done this for so long, I basically have a CRM model. I mean, we're an ideal profile for a member of Greenskeeper is an avid golfer, and somebody that wants to be of service to each other, somebody that's grateful in nature, like I am. So you kind of go into these areas and you literally interact with people. That's how you get to know people. You try to play golf with them and stuff. And when you look at a community in general, like if you're talking about like a market, then you're going to want a market that has a lot of daily fee golf courses that where there can be a comparison model can be put in place, and where people generally can play golf year round or most of the year. But from a people standpoint, I mean, kind of it's interesting because I don't start a day, in Greenskeeper without thanking a member in thought or action. That is my first mindset, period, whenever I start, because that's what it really is all about. I'm a guy who thinks about depth over reach, like I mentioned before, and so when it comes to identifying an ideal community, I'm going to reach out to them. If they contribute on Greenskeeper, I'm going to reach out and be the first one that says, hey, thanks for writing that review. I'm going to try to get to know you a little bit, and I know that's crazy with all the stuff I got to do and everything on my plate, but in a way I'm scaling the unscalable here, and I'm building the foundation blocks to the type of culture that I want on the website. So there's a lot of proactive components to this. I hope I answered your question because I was kind of all over the place.
Oh, that's all right. But by the way, what's illegal about that hot dog putter?
Again, according to USGA, and I found this out, it's connected at 2 points.
Oh.
That's illegal.
That's the fork part, right?
So I went out and, hold on a sec, sorry.
You like cut like a centimeter of the metal to like not have it connected to use it, and it still looks good.
Yeah, but then like if you accidentally hit it.
So I went out and bought another hot dog putter because I didn't want to put up with that when I had it indexed and I was playing tournaments and things. And I bought a hot dog putter that, see this? They put a piece of metal there to make it legal.
Really?
But it ruined it. It's like not even a fork anymore, right? Like, what is that? A spoon connected to it? And they put some funky graphite shaft on it. I mean, so that was it. So
the fact is that it's pretty much the complete opposite of what you wanted, and yet you still went out and you still bought it. So
here's what I'm more impressed about is that there was a second hot dog putter.
Yeah. Then there's a market for a company out there that's like, you know what, we're going to make hot dog putters and we're going to sell well. And they do.
And they sold 2 of them. They sold 2 of them.
Did you know that this putter is in the Golf Hall of Fame? The hot dog putter. It actually is. I swear to God.
Really?
It is.
Now there's 3 of them.
No.
So let's get back to I like his name. His name is It's Like I'm Saying, and he had a good question. And he said, when did you start playing golf, and when did you realize you had a passion for the game? Were you searching for a way to work golf into when you started Greenskeeper.org?
Okay, that's a 2-part question. You got 2 in there. So what happened was I took up golf basically in high school. I was totally into basketball. Basketball was my whole life. And my buddy who was on the varsity basketball team wasn't as good as him. He was also a golfer. And so it was the spring of sophomore year, in high school, 10th grade. And he just dragged me out to the driving range, and I hit a couple balls, and he just put me right on the golf course. And I hit one good shot, and I was out there and I said, this is really cool. This is fun. I like hanging out with them, and I just totally got it right away, and I got into golf. And then that summer, I practiced my butt off, and I ended up making the high school golf team, and from that point on, it was just golf, golf, golf. So that's how I got my passion for golf itself. As it relates, what was the other question there? What did he ask?
Were you searching for a way to work in golf when you started? So, like, I guess it's kind of it is a two-part question, but
I think I always had been a computer geek and into golf. Okay, but before I did this, I was in the record industry, and I had my own record promotion company, and I had intentions to have a career in the record industry. And but what happened was I got tired. What was that?
iTunes happened.
iTunes. Actually, in a way, Napster happened.
Oh,
so
my
I was
God.
out there.
Way back.
This is early 2000s, right? And so the industry was getting weird, and I totally got the internet, and I was trying to convince some of these guys, look, you guys got to get into, sharing, this digital music and all that stuff. I mean, really, if you think about it, we should all have Sony phones in our hands, not iPhones, because they had the opportunity to seize that moment. They didn't. They just fought the whole thing. Anyway, back to golf. So what happened was, being in the record industry, in the promotion industry, I always had Wednesday off. That was the day that was my golf day. And but what happened on Wednesday? Wednesday is always a day following a Monday, Tuesday when they aerate the greens. And so I was getting really, really frustrated because back then you had to make your tee time like a week in advance. You had to call on the phone. I mean, things were pretty archaic. And once you were there, and nobody would tell you anything. You're making a reservation. Even if you asked, they wouldn't tell you. So it was getting really frustrating. And so I said, I'm going to go ahead, and because I've had dabbled in HTML code and stuff, so I'm going to make my own little website just to help people out, just so they know before they go, right? And got the URL Greenskeeper, and the rest pretty much is history. So that's how I got into it.
Very cool. So I'm going to let Jason ask another question, then I've got a good one that relates to your website.
So I kind of have a follow-up on that. Is this your full-time job?
Oh, God, yeah. This is crazy.
I could have answered that one.
Crazy full-time. At least 12 hours a day. Nuts. I mean, it's, people... It's a platform, okay? I mean, there's the enormity of running even just any kind of small website and any kind of platform for that matter is something. But I mean, you've got development solution, hosting solution, content management solution, sales. I mean, and just directory community. I mean, you know what? I really couldn't do it without the GK community, although being so supportive, and and a few of the guys in there that volunteer a lot of help to make it all possible. But yeah, this is my full-time job. And I'm looking to scale my company moving forward. So,
as a small merchant, I get it.
Okay.
So, okay, I don't want excuses. I want a date, a deadline, a timeline. When is the website going responsive?
Ooh, good question.
Whoa. Okay, so the app's going to launch. The app is going to launch first. Okay. And it's going to come out on iPhone, and there's been a lot that's gone on around that app. I basically shifted the whole development solution. That's what people understand when you run a technology, a platform, is how complex the development solution is. So I've actually shifted the whole development solution over to a GKer, actually, and a GKer is a Greenskeeper member that's really active on the platform. He actually approached me, and he's just a genius, and he took over the programming. So it was delayed because when he looked at the code and stuff, he was like, no, this needs to be changed and this needs to be changed and stuff. So it's going to launch in December. Now, after the app launches, the next priority is going to be to upgrade Greenskeeper to a more responsive platform. But that might be contingent on capital funding, which I'm pretty confident once I get the app launched that I'm going to be able to attract quite a lot of interest in funding my company and allowing it to scale.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Yes, I like that. So Callie, where'd he go? Here you go. Callie Golfer 1031 wants to know, what is the most difficult aspect of keeping a website like Greenskeeper.org growing?
It's the revenue stream. I mean, it's the golf course industry. It's just this crusade I've been on to educate the golf course industry over the last 12 years. I mean, I really didn't anticipate it being this difficult to generate the support of the industry from, I just assumed they were going to get the e-commerce boom back in 2002. I assumed they were going to extend their online presence and want to build websites and want to collect email and do all the stuff back then that was, which other industries were doing and having success. But the industry really didn't do that, and consequently the wholesalers did that. Hence, that's really the reason why we have all these key time wholesalers and stuff. But that's a whole nother conversation. But that's essentially is challenge. Still is the challenge. But I got a lot of really great ideas, and things are actually growing from a revenue standpoint. And so, but that's definitely because you need capital to grow. I mean, you only have so much time. I mean, if I could afford to hire like 2-3 people, that would make all the difference in the world. So that's been the thing that's, dedication, inspiration. I got all that. Community, foundation, all that's there. The GK community, the site's growing, new members every day, extending the digital footprint throughout the, way beyond Greenskeeper now through our Greenskeeper blog, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google+, all this scenarios. I mean, Greenskeeper is definitely way beyond its original borders, so that's growing just fine. It's just revenue stream is where the challenge is.
Jason, back to you. You got another couple of good ones.
Give us a review of the last golf course you played.
Oh,
I love that.
I would love to hear a review
and if
from...
it's a Troon course, well, it better be a good review, and it would be.
Boy, I mean, it was, you guys, I can't believe I'm not here. I write a review for every solitary course I play. So it was at our last outing. It's the last time I played. I'm ashamed to say it's been all the way since August 31st. We had a GK Plays, which is these outings that we were putting on, and I wrote a review along with 20 other GKers, and it just totally flooded our website. It's one of the reasons why we do them. But yeah, and the course was just, it was gorgeous. They had us out there the same day they were doing a mid-am qualifying, a U.S. mid-am qualifying, and then afterwards we were hung out on the bar in the patio area. It was a really good time. The course, I would say, I mean, the greens were they were built to be faster, but they still were quick. They're about 11 on the stump. Fairways were lush. The rough was lush. It wasn't as long as I expected. Tee boxes were level. Layout was just was something else. Really enjoyed the company. It was a beautiful day, and that's my Reader's Digest version of one of my reviews. One of my reviews is typically about 3 or 4 paragraphs. We have people on Greenskeeper that write almost an encyclopedia about a golf course, and it's great. And then we have other people that write just a paragraph or so, but never do you see on Greenskeeper like a little blurb or something like that. These are people that are really interested in being of service to each other. And the depth of reviews is something else. So.
Very cool. Les, I think you would write long reviews because, well, you don't have anything else to do.
Well, one of my questions has to do with reviews, and how do you deal with people who write a bad review just because they had a bad day on a golf course?
Great question.
Yeah, it is all about just being truthful. You can write a bad review, but you just need to be honest about it. We don't do that any kind of censorship like that. I mean, if you're going to be like ranting and cussing and just garbage mouth and that kind of stuff, no, we're gonna pull that review off. But every time a review is pulled off, we're gonna reach out to you and engage you right on Greenskeeper. We're not just pull it off. We're gonna tell you why. We're gonna see why. I mean, everything's about people on the platform. So right. I mean, but yeah, I mean, as long as it's a truthful review, and I know people have different interpretations of what's true or not, but see, you have a whole community, and the community itself self-polices itself. So if somebody goes on there and writes something that's really off the beaten path, they will get internal messages from other Greenskeeper members. Members will contact me and say, that review, that just doesn't, I was just out there. The course is definitely in better shape than that, or something like that. If it's just a pure rant, Greenskeeper's not the place for that. Like sometimes I'll tell people, I'll say, look, I mean, I understand you're concerned with that. That's more of a forum topic than that is a review,
Right,
and so
right.
we'll get into that as well. So that's how it's handled. I have all the content managers, the community staff members on Greenskeeper, and there's about 10 or 12 of them now. They all have as a button when they're logged in that they can report a review, and when they do, they pulls it off, and then goes into a holding tank to be analyzed. So I mean, we're very diligent about our content management on Greenskeeper because we're all living by that creed: know before you go. So
Right.
I'm going to steal Les's next question because it relates to that, and he was going to ask, Les Bailey, was going to ask, how important is pace of play in a review?
It's It's really, really important. Okay, I mean, a basic play can just blow it out. I mean, blow out your whole golf experience if it's too slow. That's probably the #1 rant on Greenskeeper, #1 complaint about a golf course on Greenskeeper.org. Remember, I'm in Southern California. There's a lot of people out here, and you've got companies like American Golf and so forth that allow fivesomes, and it can get slow.
Right.
So I mean, but people, it's like, I'm pretty patient out there. I can handle a 5-hour round because I'm way more into the people and the surroundings and what's going on. I'm not just trying to race home when I go to play golf. But when it goes over that 5-hour mark, even me, Mr. Patient, Mr. Optimistic, I mean, I'm like,
So I'm going to jump in. This is a really good question from CPNO
C. Pembo.
Yeah, you know him.
She's a director of community. She's a director of community woman on Greenskeeper.
And her question is about women. So she said, women are the fastest growing segment in golf. Do you have plans for attracting more women to Greenskeeper.org? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, her and I have tried a few different things, but to try to get women more into Greenskeeper.org. It's definitely important to get more women involved with Greenskeeper. I don't have a definitive game plan yet. I mean, what Greenskeeper focuses on is primarily avid golfers, the people that match up best with the culture that contributes on Greenskeeper. So if an avid golfer is a woman or a man, or that's fine. I mean, that's really how Greenskeeper focuses its marketing, how it focuses its attention. But I need to do more for certain to make the community feel more welcoming and open for women. I mean, the great thing is you don't see a lot of egos on Greenskeeper. You don't have the chauvinist type of people on Greenskeeper. I mean, it's very rare. It really is a great, comfortable place. And at our outings, we get decent participation, women participation, but normally it's always a couples thing. I mean, we did have a single woman come out the last outing, but for the most part, I'm disappointed. I wish we had more women involved in Greenskeeper. So, but there are plans. I mean, at least we'll figure them out.
So there are a lot more things I want to ask, and I know Les was going to ask more. Jason, sorry, you're not going to get to ask anymore because we only have 3 minutes left. But Jason has to leave early, and Sixpaz had a couple of questions, and we're not going to get to those either because the back nine is my favorite part of the Friday Foursome, and I want to make sure Jason sees it because it's his favorite part too. So you've obviously seen these, so you don't need the backstory on the back nine. So Johnny, you ready for your back nine?
I am.
Here we go. There are a lot of golf courses out there. You've played a ton of them, but what is your single favorite golf course?
Cascada in Las Vegas.
You were supposed to say a Troon course. What golf ball are you currently playing?
I am playing a Z-Star yellow golf ball.
Yellow? Wow, you're not that old.
But I will play the white one too. But
careful.
I just wanted to comment from Back Nine Media there. Who is your favorite LPGA Tour player? And if you say Michelle Wie because she wears tennis shoes and has colored hair, I'm going to turn this thing off.
You might not like this answer, but I don't follow the LPGA. I don't follow the LPGA tour at all. I don't have a favorite one.
Oh, that's an honest answer.
We just had this whole woman conversation thing, and here's me not even paying attention to LPGA.
Is going to grow women golf. We're going to not watch it. Have you ever had an ace, and if so, how far was it, and what club did you use?
I have never had an ace. Every time I step up to a par 3, it's always in the back of my head. I want to get my ace. I don't care if it's a GK event and there's like 100 people there. I want to go in there and buy them all a drink. I don't care. I'll do anything for an ace.
See, that's not fair. If I get the ace, you should buy me a drink. I'm not going to buy you a drink. Do you listen to music on the golf course?
No, I don't. I mean, I love music. Coming from the record industry and things like that. I love 80s music, 80s alternative music. So anyway.
Les, the 80s,
no, I don't.
That's like progressive for you, Les. What is your current index?
I don't have an index because I don't keep score.
No,
I stopped keeping score.
But whatever.
I don't keep score. No, it's just...
You had to keep score during hashtag the Evan 15.
I have to keep score then, and I did pretty well, I think.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, I mean that doesn't mean I'm not trying as much as I can to hit a good shot.
Yeah.
But score just gets in the way of so many other things that makes golf such an amazing experience.
That's a great attitude. I don't know if I can do that.
It's hard to do, but it's liberating if you can.
You have a 165-yard shot. It's all over water. You've got a 3-yard landing space between the water and the pin. What club do you hit?
Did you say 165?
165. You got to carry it at least 163.
I'm just gonna lay into an 8-iron.
Holy cow! I would have said a 5. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't. An 8. That is a crushed 8-iron.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to crush an 8 because you told me the pin's tucked, and see, I don't keep score, so I'm not really concerned about going in the water.
You hit the water.
So I'm pin seeking.
Good answer. Good answer. Yeah.
All right, we have to ask it, and I'm curious if our friendship will continue after you answer this. But will Tiger break Jack's record? Be nice.
He will come one short of breaking Jack's record.
One short.
One short.
He's going to have a great year next year. I think he's going to win. I think he's going to either win the Masters or the PGA. It's going to be a big comeback year for Tiger. I think he's going to come up one short overall. I mean, I think I'm way. I think people are thinking, was this guy crazy? But I really do think Tiger's going to make a comeback next year. I'm pulling for him that he does. So we'll see what happens.
In fact, Tiger and Rory have both committed to the Fries.com Open this year.
Tiger is not official yet.
I got a buzz on my phone said him and Roy had committed.
Rory is, but Tiger has not officially committed. But that will come probably the Wednesday. We should talk about that offline. And your final question of your Friday Foursome is, what's next for you and Greenskeeper.org?
All right. I'm just totally immersed in Greenskeeper.org. So what's next for Greenskeeper.org is what's next for me. And that's just a big emphasis on what we're doing right now on the platform with just doing more group play, more GK events, more GK plays, bringing more specials to the platform. We want to also, the mobile is going to make a big splash. It's going to get a lot of traction. And that's basically what's next for Greenskeeper.org and just me grinding away to make that happen. And that's what's next.
That was so cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on. And being a sponsor one and then coming on to actually be the guest of honor. I will make sure this gets posted and shared everywhere. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be in the community. The couple of questions that we didn't get to answer, I'm going to send those to you via email as well, so you can answer those when I share this video to the community. And I always forget to mention the podcast. Within 24 hours, this is going to be on iTunes and an iTunes podcast, so you can listen to it while you're driving and you don't have to see our ugly mugs up there on the screen. And I know that Jason has a meeting to get to, lest you have a GK review to write. But one thing that I think that knowing before you go is going to do, and that's what Matt Rust likes to say, and that's make less bogeys.